Do you Hulu? So today I am talking about the 5 best TV shows on Hulu that plus size nerds should be watching. And a bonus show on top of that. I'm Nancy Basile, and I created Plus Size Nerd to make an empowering space for plus size women who want to celebrate both their curves and their fandoms, because we deserve our own time to shine. So I'm going to jump in with my top 5 plus size nerd TV shows on Hulu and throw in the bonus at the end. All right, so I'm going, instead of counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm going to start with number 1 because you all know exactly what I'm going to say, I bet. Let's all say it together. The number 1 TV show on Hulu is The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale. Set in a dystopian future, a woman is forced to live as a concubine under a fundamentalist theocratic dictatorship. What does all that mean? Well, you know, this show is based on a book, but it's very timely because we're living in kind of a chaotic world right now where there are these push and pulls between two different, ideologies. And this show takes it way to the extreme to show, what it would be like if women had no rights, were just considered to be, birthers. It's fairly, I'm gonna confess something. I don't watch this show. I don't watch this show because if I did, I would curl up in a ball and bawl my eyes out and never come back out. It would affect me way too much if I watched this show. I just wouldn't even be able to handle it. So my husband, though, watches the show, as do a lot of you and a lot of other people, and they freaking love it. And it's got Alexis Bledel and Elizabeth Moss and Joseph Fiennes, and they're all excellent actors, and the show's supposed to be really, really good. It won a Golden Globe in 2018 for Best Drama and Best Actress. In 2017, it won Emmys for Actress, Supporting Actress, Directing, Drama Series, and it's been nominated like a gazillion times for all kinds of stuff. Too many nominations for me to even list. But yeah, I can't bring myself to watch it because it just would be too upsetting. A lot of people like watching it because they get like fired up, like ready to fight the good fight. But it's a little too on the nose for me right now, even though it's, dystopian and it's fiction. It's just too much for me. So that is number 1. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I knew that you knew what I was going to say was number 1. So that is number 1 on Hulu, The Handmaid's Tale. All right, number 5 is a Marvel show. Marvel show that's not on Netflix and doesn't get a lot of hype for some reason. But number 5 is Marvel's Runaways. Very good show. Great drama, great casting, very creative casting. It's not, the same kids that you see all the time on stuff. After discovering their parents are supervillains in disguise, which is like the darker side of Disney's Descendants, a group of teenagers band together to run away from their homes in order to atone for their parents' actions and to discover the secrets of their origins. There's a lot of X-Men mutiny goodness in there with these Runaways. It's a diverse cast. It's a wonderful drama. And if you love superheroes like I love superheroes, it lives in the superhero world. You get to see, this group of kids trying to redeem their origins and what their parents have done as supervillains. It's just really great. And bonus nerd factor of Runaways, James Marsters. James Marsters is on this show. If you're a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, you know who I'm talking about. James Marsters played Spike, the vampire, and he was a fan favorite character. I met him twice. In my life. That was back before I had kids and I went to cons all the time and did all kinds of fun stuff. But anyway, James Marsters is on this show, so that's like an extra nerdy bonus there for Runaways. Okay, so at number 5, Marvel's Runaways. Number 4, Future Man. Now, hold on. Future Man, and I'm totally serious. One thing you may or may not know about me, I am super nerdy, but I love a good raunchy comedy, especially a Seth Rogen comedy. One of my favorite movies of all times is what's it called? The End of the World. Is it just called The End? The End of the World with James Franco and Seth Rogen, and you know, it's the apocalypse and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. I could watch it over and over and over and over and over and over. So I love Future Man. It's executive produced by Seth Rogen and his partner, Evan Goldberg. I couldn't remember. And they also directed several episodes. It wasn't created by those two, but they have their creative mitts in there, which is partly why I like it. It is like sci-fi meets the raunchy comedies of like Sausage Party, Superbad, and all that good stuff. I love raunchy comedy. It's a weakness, but this is a great show because it takes the sci-fi tropes and video game tropes and slaps it into reality, which is where a lot of the comedy comes from. So the plot is Josh Futterman, who's played by Josh Hutcherson from Hunger Games fame, and he's excellent, is a janitor by day and a gamer by night. He's recruited by mysterious visitors to travel through time to prevent the extinction of humanity. So it's like this huge, big plot, but they end up with all these very human problems. These video game people are trying to deal with humans and be more human, which is also part of the fun. He's like this goofy guy who's been tasked with saving the world. It's got like the Galaxy Quest vibe to it. It's got, you know, the Superbad vibe to it. It's so good. I really like it. No awards to speak of. Whatever. That doesn't mean it's not awesome. You will love it as a plus-size nerd, I'm telling you. And it also starred Glenn Headley as one of the parental figures, I believe. R.I.P. Glenn Headley. I loved her. Number 3 on Hulu is my girl, Veronica Mars. Oh my God. Don't you just love Veronica Mars? I love Veronica Mars. So this is season 4, and it's straight on Hulu. Like, God love Hulu. They revived Veronica Mars to bring back season 4, and I think there's only like 8 episodes. I think there's only 8, but Veronica Mars goodness. If you are unfamiliar, I will take you way back to season 1, which was like, I don't know how many years ago, when Kristen Bell was like almost unknown. Like, she wasn't famous yet. Kristen Bell plays Veronica Mars. She's the only daughter of a single dad. Her mom took off. He's a PI. She kind of helps him with the PI stuff while she's a teenager. She's in high school. She used to be popular. Then this sex tape gets out of her, and everyone else, you know, everyone decides to feel differently about her. And she has to deal with that. She's trying to live with what it was like to be roofied and raped and all this stuff. That's like the undercurrent stuff. That's not what the show is about. The show is about solving an overarching mystery of who killed her best friend. It's about being a teen. It's about dealing with people's perception of you and your own perception of yourself. And it's about being a tech goddess and a smartass. And that's the 2 characteristics that I love the most. Veronica Mars will get you every time. She's super smart, and anytime these haters try to hate on her, she turns it around on them, and it is so great. It's just so great. So the first 3 seasons were perfection, and then it got canceled, much to people's chagrin. I don't know why y'all weren't watching it to begin with. You should have been. Then there was a movie, you may recall, that was crowdfunded off Kickstarter. Saw the movie, loved the movie, but I will say the movie did feel kind of like a Band-Aid on the Veronica Mars sorrow that we were all feeling. You know, it was a great mystery, and we got to see Veronica and Logan back together, and we caught up kind of with some of who was doing what, but it wasn't, you know, you can't capture all that angst and social politics and caste system in a 2-hour movie. And you really, if season 4 could have been way longer, that's my only complaint about season 4. But anyway, oh my God, I've been talking about Veronica Mars for a long time. Veronica Mars, it's number 3. You are doing yourself a disservice if you don't go watch it. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is a short-lived, almost like mini series, because it's based on a Stephen King book. So it's not like there's going to be more seasons, but it is a series of many episodes, and it's 11/22/63, referring to November 22nd, 1963, when JFK was assassinated. It's based on, like I said, Stephen King novel of the same title, stars James Franco. It's excellent. I will confess, my husband wanted to watch it. He put it on, and I was like, oh my God, here we go. Because he and I don't always have the same tastes. And I was hooked. They're hour-long episodes, and we would end up staying up way too late every night to get through this thing because it was so good. So here's what it's about. James Franco plays this high school teacher. He's divorced. He goes to this diner. The guy who's owned it, you know, like forever. Something weird happens. I'm not going to explain what. Something weird happens, and James Franco ends up going back in time to stop the JFK assassination because he believes it's the right thing to do for a variety of reasons. But in true Stephen King fashion, there's never an easy answer. And let me tell you, when this show was over, I could not stop thinking about it. I bet for 2 weeks I would lay in bed at night, like going back over, like, yeah, but if this, then this, and God, but then he ended up with this, and he still couldn't this, and and the pain. It's like this exquisite pain at the end of the show. And if you watch it, you'll know exactly what I mean. Very good, so good. So good. It won lots of Saturn Awards. It was nominated for an Emmy for visual effects. And like I said, jumping back, number one, you knew what it was going to be, Handmaid's Tale. I already covered it. I'm not covering it again. If you missed any of my top five, here were my top five. Number 5, Runaways. Number 4, Future Man. Number 3, Veronica Mars. Number 2, 11/22/63. And number 1, Handmaid's Tale, which I refuse to watch. I also mentioned that there's a bonus on top of all this. So my favorite show right now, oh my God, I love this show, is Letterkenny. And it kind of falls into the nerd category because you have to be a certain kind of a nerd to love Letterkenny. You have to love wordplay. The writing on Letterkenny, oh my God, it's near poetry. The delivery of the lines is so stylized. It is a show unlike any you've seen. It's almost sketch comedy. I want to say it's Shakespearean. I mean, I'm not kidding. The writing is excellent, and you really have to pay attention. Sometimes you have to back up to really get the full flavor of what they're saying. But meanwhile, remember a little while ago I said how I really like raunchy comedy? There's a little bit of raunch, not like slapstick broad comedy, not in any way, shape, or form. In fact, many of their scenes, the actors are perfectly still. It's so stylized, and the words are just like out of their mouth. I freaking love this show, and if you're nerdy, you're gonna dig it because there's so many catchphrases and scenarios to hang your hat on. And if you're a fan, you know exactly, you know, like allegedly, pitter patter, better get at her. Your spare parts bud, your spare parts bud. That's one of their insults. How are you? Pretty good, and you? Oh, not so bad. So the nerdy part is all the wordplay and playing with the typical story tropes. But if you grew up rural like I did, dude, you have got to watch Letterkenny. It starts every episode with 5,000 people live in Letterkenny. This is their problems. Because if you grew up rural like I did, I don't even think there were 5,000 people in my county. You will so relate to it. It's very rural. It's farm. It's from Canada. I kept wondering why I had never really heard anything about the show and why they kept saying oot. I thought they were Minnesotan. It's from Canada. It won the Canadian Screen Awards in 2019 for Best Actor, Best Comedy Writing, Best Direction. It also won in 2018, and it's been nominated for Canadian Screen Awards, Best Comedy Series. It's won and been nominated for all these Canadian awards. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. I can't even tell you. They say really filthy things. Nothing, you never see anything raunchy or filthy, but they say real horrible things. It's so good. Pitter patter, better get at her. That is my top 5 Hulus. If you want to be part of my monthly giveaway, sign up for my email newsletter. You can go to plussizenerd.com/sign me up. Wow, thanks for watching my video. I sincerely appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them. I'll get back to you. Peace out. Hi, this is Nancy Basile with Plus Size Nerd. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and ding that bell. That way you'll know every time a new video drops.